Hey everyone, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video finds you well and I hope that you're keeping safe. In today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the brand new fragrance by Marc Jacobs, and this is Marc Jacobs Perfect. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Marc Jacobs Perfect, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews just like this, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, and unboxings, please be sure to support this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on that bell icon. This way, whenever I do publish these videos, they will be delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of my future content. So here we have Marc Jacobs Perfect, a brand new fragrance released in 2020, Marc Jacobs Perfect. This is based off his mantra, which is I am perfect as I am, which is a really good way of viewing yourself, really good way of instilling confidence, but also giving you that well-needed boost to get you through your day and really just feeling the sense of self-fulfillment, which I am a huge fan of. So Marc Jacobs Perfect, the perfumer for this fragrance is Navitus Parfums. She has done tons of fragrances, not just for Marc Jacobs, but also for Viktor and Rolf. She has done fragrances for Van Cleef & Arpels, for Tos, for Ferragamo, Chloe. Gosh, it's a huge list of compositions that she's made. You can easily go on Fragrantica and check it out. And this fragrance actually has a really interesting note breakdown, which I quite like. So it has almond milk, it has daffodil, it has cashmeron, it has a lot of really smooth, that's actually the only floral ingredient in here, that daffodil. So I guess you can say it's a soliflora in that sense, but I also quite like the accents of the almond and that musky component, you know, the cashmeron that's found in the base. So I ended up seeing the bottle at my local Sephora, which is where I purchased this, and I liked the quirkiness of the cap, and I said, you know, we got to do something with this. And I ended up having my wife try it. She wasn't in love with it at first spray. I think this is one that really needs to grow on her, but hopefully she'll spend more time wearing it in the coming months, even though I think it does really well in the hotter weather. But hopefully she does spend a little bit more time wearing it, because I actually quite enjoyed this fragrance, despite the fact that there are far more likes for it on Fragrantica as opposed to loves or dislikes. I'm excited to tell you what I get from this fragrance and how I feel about it. Let's start with the presentation. So here's the box for Marc Jacobs Perfect. It has this sort of handwritten style to it. I like the sort of sketch here on the front with the bottle and a person holding the bottle. Has an image of a banana on the left, stars on the right, a cat on the back, and below that you have your ingredients. The serial number is punched into the top right hand corner of the box, and Perfect Marc Jacobs written at the very top. Now the bottle for this one is also quite nice. It's a little quirky and I definitely appreciate that. You have the banana, the domino, the bow, the star, the cherries, the kitty cat, the high-heeled shoes. So it's really a hodgepodge of really different things, and I actually quite like the bottle and I like how unique it is. The cap for this fragrance does not click into place, so don't pick it up from the cap, although it is a snug fit. And the distribution on the atomizer is nice and wide. Let's continue with the smell. So this fragrance opens up in a very carefree yet gentle way. It's really an emphasis on that musky cashmeron thing that you have going on in the base. And I was looking through other fragrances that this perfumer has composed, and I stumbled across one that I think is discontinued now, and it's like one of my favorite fragrances for women. I love it when women wear this fragrance, and it's Bee by Balenciaga. I know there's also a Zara fragrance that smells very similar to it, and so I'm kind of happy that I have that because I can have my wife wear that instead, whatever. But this one actually has a little bit of a resemblance to Bee by Balenciaga. I think it's a little bit more floral though. I don't think there's as much of an emphasis on that staticky musk thing that you have going on in the base. In Bee, it's far more textured. Here, there's that level of smoothness, and the cashmeron just smells really nice. But I think really where this fragrance shines is in the fact that it has this almond milk accord. And you know, almond can be accomplished in a few different ways. You can use almond oil, of course. You can use heliotrope or a synthetic version of heliotrope, because that also kind of gives off this almond vibe. And I like that there's this touch of sweetness, ever so faint. If the fragrance is, 95% floral and musky, only 5% of that is actually of a sweet nature. So it's not a gourmand fragrance by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel like the musk, with that almond touch and that slightly clean floral, that gentle and calm floral component, will remind some people of Rolling in Love by Kilian Paris, which is composed by a different perfumer, if I'm remembering correctly. So I quite like the way that this fragrance smells. I think there is this mass appealing factor about it, and so you can purchase this one and wear it very confidently and comfortably, knowing that those around you will love the way that you smell. And I don't think I can ever say anything contrary to that about a Marc Jacobs fragrance, whether we're talking about Daisy or any of the associated flankers. Decadence is a bit more bold, right? With that vanilla plum sort of resinous thing that it has going on. I personally love Decadence, and I think all of their presentations sort of give off this quirky, some might even say kitschy aspect about it as far as the presentation is concerned. But guess what? It's a memorable presentation, and it's going to stand out on the shelf, and it will be remembered decades from now. So Marc Jacobs is doing a fantastic job. And funny story, many years ago, one of my favorite fragrances, and probably to this day I still quite like it, is Marc Jacobs for Men. And it gives off this fig leaf coconut vibe in the opening, and I always gravitated towards it because I felt like it wasn't doing what everybody else is doing. Now this one is a little bit more compliant as far as the trends are concerned, but I also quite like the fact that it has that almondy nuance to it that really sets it apart from maybe some other fragrances that might adhere to a similar olfactory breakdown or olfactory structure. Overall, I like that floral component that's in here. I like the addition of the cashmeran. I know there are some other notes in here as well, and of course there are some trade secrets, and a perfumer will never reveal all of his or her secrets, but I think it's a very well put together fragrance. I quite like this one, and I hope my wife wears it more. I'll try to convince her to wear it more often. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I don't necessarily find this to be the most unique fragrance in the world, just because there are some other fragrances that I can kind of compare this one to, but I do find the overall smell to be very pleasant, and I like the addition of the rhubarb, kind of giving it that very slightly strawberry-like smell. I know I didn't mention it or cover it too much in the earlier portion of the video, but that's also because I don't think it really defines the aura of this fragrance. I think it's really more so about that almond accord, that almond milk that gives it this creamy, slightly sweet, lactonic vibe, but it's really more about the daffodil and the cashmeran, that musky thing going on in the base that really carries the fragrance forward. And the overall smell is very pleasant. It has a level of mass appeal about it, and again, like I said, I'm looking forward to my wife wearing this one more often, despite the fact that it might not necessarily be a love for her. In terms of the longevity, I got about 6 hours on my skin. Projection was great for the first hour or hour and a half. It didn't start to sit closer to the skin until about that 4.5 to 5 hour mark, and that's really when it became a skin scent. In terms of the versatility, I actually do find this to be quite versatile. I think anybody of any age can wear it. It's not overly mature in any way, but I also don't find it to be ultra youthful because it lacks a lot of those sweet components, you know, that cotton candy vibe that you'll often find, or that overdose of vanilla that you will often find in some more youthful fragrances out there. I think this one is better for the hotter weather, but as long as you're wearing it indoors in a climate controlled environment, you can pretty much wear it whenever you want. And in terms of the presentation, I like the quirkiness of it. I think it's very memorable. Yes, a certain aspect of it is a bit kitschy, as some would say, but my final verdict on this fragrance is I really like this fragrance. If you go into it with an open mind and you say this is the new Marc Jacobs and these are the notes I should be looking out for, I think you'll be pleasantly impressed by the inclusion inclusion of the almond oil and the rhubarb and some of those more milky lactonic facets. I think it's a really interesting fragrance, and I think it's a really worthwhile addition to your collection for the year 2020. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my review of Perfect by Marc Jacobs. If you own or have tried this fragrance, I would love to know what you think. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Also, if you are new to this channel and you took something of value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you could support this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner, and also make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thanks again for watching. I love you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.